Can you buy car insurance on a daily basis? The answer is almost, but not quite. There's no daily insurance policy that we know of that you can run for as long as you wish and then cancel when you've finished with it. However, it's certainly possible to buy short-term cover, as hundreds of thousands of UK motorists have already done, and you can get a policy that lasts for as little as a day and as long as 28 days. But you need to decide just how long you want the policy to last for right at the outset. It is of course possible to apply for another policy straight after your previous one expires, but insurers may insist on a minimum gap between them, so it's far better if you can calculate just how long you need cover for at the outset. It would not matter whether the car belonged to you or not, provided that it was roadworthy, taxed, had a current MOT certificate, and that you have the owner's permission to drive it if it's owned by somebody else. In this case, however, you would have had to have borrowed it. You can't use this for a hired car, so no money should change hands, and you certainly couldn't borrow one from a car rental company and insure it in this way. Now, buying a policy online is extremely easy. The formalities in most cases are kept to a minimum. There's a short form to fill in, and then if you meet the required criteria, you're given a quotation. The majority of motorists in Britain will have no problem meeting these criteria whatsoever, but there are certain postcodes in Britain where claims are high for one reason or another, and some motorists may find it difficult to get cover if they live within these areas. And there's a fixed list of cars which can be accepted, and although this list covers the majority of modern cars on British roads, there are a few less popular vehicles which have not been included, and they cannot be covered, unfortunately. Similarly, the insurance companies will not accept vehicles which have been modified or drivers who have more than a certain number of penalty points on their licences. Up to about 6 is usually okay. It's not possible, of course, to be specific about what will or will not be acceptable to insurance companies, because they all have their own formulas for working this out, and they keep them very, very secret indeed. So once you've had a quote, and assuming you find it acceptable, you can pay for your policy by credit card, and then you can either pick a time and date in the future for the cover to start, or if you like, you could specify that it should start immediately. You can then download all the documentation you'll need, including the all-important insurance certificate, and it'd be a good idea if you printed all this out and carry it around with you in the car. The reason for this is that every car insurance policy which is issued within the UK is recorded on what is called the Motor Insurers Database. Now, the police have access to this, and they use it thousands of times a day to check on whether or not particular cars are insured. But there's a snag. It sometimes takes several days for details of a particular policy to appear in the database. And with short-term car insurance, a policy could easily have expired before details of it become available. It's therefore not unknown for people who've taken out car insurance of any sort, not just short-term cover, fairly recently, and they can find themselves having to try to convince cynical police officers that despite the fact they've no documents and there's no record of their policy on the database, that they are in fact covered. Now, this is a problem that more and more motorists are facing every day, as the number of hidden cameras which read number plates and automatically compare registration details to the database increase in number, and they're increasing in effectiveness as well. So if you're looking to get a quote for insuring a car for a few days, there's no problem. Just go to our website and you can get all the details that you need there. Drive safely.